Bitcoin just broke new all-time highs, but are whales now selling to move into other coins? And if so, what are they looking at? Today, we're going to find two coins that whales are buying with their Bitcoin profits. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, Altcoin Buzz IO, and as always, this is not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Also, make sure to join us for our X Spaces Tuesday to Friday at 10 a.m. EST, link down below. All right, good morning, you guys. We had another Bitcoin all-time high just last night, hitting $124,500, about $1,000 above the previous all-time high. And like we were saying yesterday, since we closed this daily candle above here, and we had this kind of long wick the other day, and we're holding above here, we thought that we'd probably go to new all-time highs because we haven't been able to close above this level. And once we pretty much did it in a single day. I didn't know it would happen that fast, but in a single day, we went and broke new all-time highs. Now you can see we are coming back down into this level after we've wicked above this. So one thing we don't want to see for Bitcoin is we don't want to see it close just like this and, break down below this $119,000 level. We don't want it to come down there because it will look like on a high time frame, it'll look like it just swept these highs and it wants to go much lower. It took out all the stops above the previous all-time high and wants to go lower. So it's totally fine that it is retesting this level here. If it goes down to 119,000 today or maybe around New York Open, that is totally fine. But what we don't want to see is we don't want to see it come back down and break down into this previous range, because that won't look too good. It'll be accepting back into this range that we just broke out of. So we don't want to see it close a daily candle below here, or at least a couple daily candles. But overall, it's still looking fine and a new all-time highs today. So we have Coin Bureau saying Bitcoin has just flipped Google in market value, now the world's fifth largest asset. Bitcoin keeps climbing. Is Apple next? So we have Apple at $3.462 trillion with Bitcoin at 2.4. So we have a little ways to go. After that, we have Microsoft, Nvidia, and then gold. And then we have Look on Chain saying Bitcoin just broke through 124,000, setting a new all-time high. If you bought Bitcoin every day, like the El Salvador government, you'd have a 115% return. We also have the SEC who wants to open crypto to retail. So SEC's crypto mom, or Hester Pierce, said this about getting retail in earlier.
Let's talk a little bit about that EO. So it instructs the Department of Labor and the SEC to adjust their rules and regulations to allow those retirement accounts to invest in private assets, to invest in crypto, or at least to allow it. How will the SEC approach this? What does that checklist look like?
Katie, it's great to be here. I think we've already started that process of opening the private markets to retail and thinking about ways that we can get them access in a way that's diversified, professionally managed, and consistent with their investing timeframes. And so I think we'll just continue with that work.
There's also a lot of concern, too, about putting what are risky assets in retirement accounts.
Yes, I think those are legitimate concerns. What we've seen, of course, is that the public markets are dominated by several large companies, and also companies are waiting longer to go public. And so we're looking for a way for retail to get earlier access to the growth of companies. And so that's really the goal of it.
And then moving on to the first coin that whales are rotating their capital into, that is Cardano, which has just reached $1 for the first time since March, is $2 coming soon. We also have Cardano to blast off. ADA whales scooped up 200 million ADA for $157 million in the last 48 hours, lifting their holdings to 10.3% of the supply. Analysts say it mirrors 2021's pre-rally pattern as ETF approval odds jump from 60 to 75%. We also have Cardano has now flipped Tron, and Dogecoin is next. So now Cardano broke back into the top 10 again and has now Doge to flip at $38 billion. With Cardano sitting at 35. We also have Minturn saying Cardano set to erupt towards $1.50. LA Chart says that Cardano ADA is moments away from a major breakout, with technicals aligning for a push towards the 150 target. The bulls are gathering strength and the charts are screaming liftoff. Is this the start of the next ADA bull wave? So we can see here, we have these levels, these downward levels, which if we break back above, he's showing towards a dollar, and we come back and test 84 cents, we could then go towards 150. So that's actually very similar to what I have, even though we do different styles of TA. That's actually exactly what I was looking for. So we broke back above here, and I was looking for a test back towards 84. And a lot of times these lines, they kind of correspond in the similar ways. So it was something like that. And so he's looking for this breakout above here and then a retest. And I'm also just looking for a retest. So a lot of times TA can kind of give you the same exact thing you're looking for. But I was looking for us to reclaim this level around 85 cents and then break back towards at least this level around $1.13. Now, I wasn't looking for 150. That's, much farther in advance, but it is a possibility. And I was saying once Cardano broke through this level of 84 cents, we were probably going back to this level pretty quickly because there's a lot of space here. And it looks like Cardano, if we look on the list here, Cardano is one of the strongest today. Most are kind of down a couple percent, and Cardano is up almost 6% on the day. So whales seem to be moving into this one. And I was saying, there's a lot of space between here. I'm sure it goes quickly towards $1.13. And I think we will see that soon. If we get some kind of flush soon, because we are kind of overheated in the market, if we get some kind of flush and we somehow do come down towards between 90 cents and 85 cents, that's probably a pretty good buy for Cardano. Anywhere around here, between here and here, because I think that will look something like this, and then we'll continue higher towards $1.13. And then $1.50, it's a little bit too high for me to predict right now. I mean, that is the next level he is looking for, around $1.50-ish right there. So I mean, I can totally see it, but it is a little bit too far away. We want to get to the more local targets first. This is from 2021. So I'm looking to get towards 132 first, which is the more recent target. Once we get through there, then we'll see. But overall, I like Cardano. I think it's looking pretty good right here. One of the strongest altcoins today. So any kind of pullback, any kind of dump or flush today with Bitcoin, and we get prices towards 90, towards 85 cents. I think that's probably a pretty good buy looking back towards these highs. And you could even target these highs again here. So you could do something like this with two different targets. So that looks good to me. Cardano, one of the strongest. And then the second coin that whales are moving into is Avalanche. So Visa just announced that Avalanche is now officially a supported blockchain for their stablecoin settlement service. And CryptoRS says new the AVAX ecosystem update, Chronicle Labs is now live and bringing 140 plus resilient, verifiable data feeds to builders and institutions. AVAX developers can now access 140 plus reliable price and data feeds, support for tokenized assets and crypto, end-to-end transparency and data provenance via the Chronicle dashboard, reputable validator network, and cryptographic proof for every update. Reliable data is critical as more and more tokenized assets come on chain. We also have Avalanche saying, with Chronicle now in Avalanche, builders get institutional grade verifiable data to power tokenized assets and on-chain finance at scale. We also have Avalanche sharing the Avalanche, where capital connects global insurance markets with the world. RE is bringing fully collateralized institutional grade insurance products on chain, now expanding its offerings with REUSD, which is Basis Plus, REUSDE Insurance Alpha, and the RE Points Program, a new asset class for institutional DeFi. And then AVAX's surge is also led by AVAX DeFi TVL, which jumped nearly 40% after its Octane upgrade went live. The boost comes from faster confirmations, cheaper fees, and better user experience, already drawing in capital and attention. Watch, this ecosystem is heating up. And it really has been. It's starting to look actually really good here. For the longest time, Avalanche was chopping between around $22 and $16. And we're saying, okay, we need it to come, at least at the very least, come and reclaim this level around $22, which is done now. And it's one of the stronger looking coins so far right now, at least at this level. So what I want to see if Bitcoin goes sideways over the next couple of days is I want to see Avalanche break above this $27 level, because you can kind of break it down like this, where I always show, this kind of accumulation chart. So Avalanche, it looks like this on a high time frame. It looks like it was just in this long-term accumulation phase. And if we break above $27, it will look like this. It will look like it's reclaiming and it's finally breaking out of this long-term accumulation phase, and we're ready to continue higher, and it will start looking like this. And so that's usually where I like to get interested in, is once we break out of this long-term accumulation phase, this is exactly where I want to get interested, and that would be $27 on the Avalanche chart. And so you can kind of see it here, broke down, accumulated through this range for a long time. So if we get back above $27, I think it's going to look kind of like Cardano, where we break out of this phase right here, this accumulation, we break out, and then there's a lot of open air going towards the next level. I think that's going to happen with Avalanche. You can see there's kind of a lot of open air here. So I think we're going towards $35 pretty quickly if we get above $27. So that's something I'd be looking. Actually, I'm going to add an alert here. That's something I would like to take if we can get that, because I think it's going to pretty quickly move up to this next level, and I think alts will start doing that as well as Bitcoin starts to go sideways. I think alts will start popping off left and right here. They might not all happen at the same time. They might pop off here. Yesterday was Cardano, maybe tomorrow is Avalanche, whatever it might be. So just make sure you have these alerts, because I think once we start breaking above these accumulation phases for altcoins, they're going to start popping off and start doing 10, 20% days. So that is Avalanche, the second coin that whales have been getting into. And then we have Ali Chart saying Ethereum whale activity surges to its highest level in a month. We also have Coin Bureau saying $2 billion in e-shorts are at risk. If Ethereum rallies to its all-time high, nearly $2 billion in shorts could get liquidated. Why short ETH? I agree. And we also have FundStrat's Tommy Lee saying Ethereum is still well below its 2022 highs, adding many targets go as high as 10 to 15K. So he said this.
I think first needs to clear its prior highs of around 4,800. It's within 6% of that now. Believe it or not, Bitcoin's obviously been making many new all-time highs this year, but Ethereum is still below its 2022 highs, 2021, 2022. So I think once it clears that level, I think Ethereum and small caps tend to be correlated. So to me, 7,500 actually might even be on the low end of what's possible.
Really?
I think I've seen many targets of 10 to 15,000.
Now, Ethereum is at a very interesting place because I do believe at some point there is going to be a sell-off, because if you just look at this chart is absolutely insane. This is a 3-day chart. And so it's just been up only. So I feel like at some point it needs to consolidate, but I'm not going to be shorting it. It's kind of the thing where you want to wait for it to go lower just so you can long, but you don't want to short it even though you think it is possible it could go down. Now, do we go down from here? I don't think so. I think because there's a lot of liquidity above here, and there's a lot of money just waiting above this previous all-time high, it is possible that we kind of have like a blow off top kind of thing for Ethereum, where we blast through here towards like $5,000 maybe, and then we have a bit of a harsh sell-off, backdoor down towards maybe 46, 45, something like that. I think that is a possibility for Ethereum. I wouldn't be shorting it here, but because it's so close to all-time highs and there's so much liquidity as shorts are piling in, and it is the all-time highs, I do think we'll probably tap into this, pretty quickly, and then we'll have that sell-off. It is possible we have a sell-off before then, but I think, after this parabolic run, I wouldn't be surprised if we just, came up here, took out all the stops above 5,000, and then came back down and then did some consolidation, something like that. I think we are ultimately going much higher, but this has been just a parabolic run. I wouldn't be too surprised if we had some kind of sell-off today or the next day. And then last for today, we have Tether and IDG Capital lead a $16 million strategic funding round into crypto payments firm Transak. So crypto infrastructure firm Transak has raised $16 million in a strategic round led by Tether and IDG Capital, and the capital will help Transak expand stablecoin payment stack and enter new markets. Stablecoins are no longer just a crypto asset, they're now the rails for global value transfer. But making them usable at scale requires more than liquidity. It takes real infrastructure, compliance system, KYC, fraud prevention, banking partnerships, and deep crypto market knowledge. Transak powers fiat to crypto and crypto to fiat transactions through bank transfers, cards, local payment methods, virtual IBANs, and stablecoins using its purpose-built virtual accounts APIs. And the Tether CEO said Transak has built a robust and innovative platform that's making stablecoin access simpler, faster, and more reliable for people around the world. So that is Tether and IDG Capital investing in Transak, and that is the video for today, guys. I would not be surprised if we came down towards this level here, retested this as support around New York Open. Maybe we have a little bit of a sell-off for different altcoins today, but I think if we can start to get these levels that we want, these are the levels you want to be buying. Not yesterday when everything was super green, up 10%. The time to be buying is on red days, like today and possibly tomorrow. So overall, this is still very bullish. We're hitting new all-time highs in Bitcoin and possibly Ethereum today or tomorrow as well. So that's the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.